First of all, a pleasant good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having me here. I am Pagnavorn, General Manager of Global Peace Alliance Cambodia. And as part of an NGO, we advocate and we strive towards social changes and also collaborate with partners towards creating a better society. And before I move on to my topic, I would like to share one story, one personal story of mine that really changed my life. At a very young age, I found that volunteering was something very alien to me, very unique. But as I started doing it at a very young age, at grade 7, I saw the potential it could bring towards society. I was doing charity work. It was a very small thing at the time. Many people ridiculed me, saying, why are you doing this? It doesn't benefit. You skip classes to do something like this? But as I started growing older, I realized that it's not always about me. And step by step, each year I started doing more and more, much more actively than the last. As I was doing charity work, I was later on elected as student council leader. And as those small steps pile up, when I graduated from high school, I was part of a volunteering group. And as I saw more and more challenges, I volunteered for 6 months being part in a rural district. And as I saw how the students, they were really struggling towards finding ways to get education, it was a time that struck me that it is not always about ourselves. And that is why I took the next step forward, and I was later an intern at the organization. And afterwards, I was nominated as staff, and now I stand as manager of the organization. But it's not about the story that makes the change. It is about the values that we bring to society is what makes it whole. And today, my topic, Living Beyond Yourself, is to understand about what it means to take the next step for ourselves and for our society as we progress forward in this world. And this world is not only about ourselves, it is also about other people, our friends and families and those around, and also our planet. We always strive towards positivity. We want to wake up with a good morning, say, oh, today is such a fresh day. I'm so happy to see my friends today. I'm so happy to go to work today. This is something that we want. We want to normalize something that is happy. We want to normalize something that is positive, and through these positivity, we find opportunity in ourselves. And for me, the topic of living beyond yourself is a value towards how we live. We live our lives not just only for ourselves, but we need to dream bigger. We need to dream that we can do more for ourselves and for society. And through this opportunity, I want to raise 3 elements to it, which consists of purpose, people, planet. These 3 essential elements is what helps us become more whole. We're not just living in this world on our own. We are living our lives with other people as well. We are living our lives with our friends and family. We are also standing here on this earth, our home. So these 3 elements is crucial in order for us to see the bigger picture on what life has to bring, what we can do in changing our perspectives and our thoughts into something that is wholesome. And the first point on is purpose. What is our purpose in life? This is a very difficult question We may or may not have a clear purpose, but what we do know is that having a purpose in life is what we are striving towards. It is a needle, it is a compass that helps us to define what is it in our life that makes us unique. What is it that in our life, whether long or short, is meaningful? The meanings comes from the purpose. And for me, through my personal values of living beyond yourself, I added this as something that I want to work towards, influencing others, inspiring positive changes for society. I know that I myself cannot make any sustainable changes, but together we can make a greater impact. We can influence more audiences, more people to join for the cause. And the cause is working towards a more sustainable and functional society, one where people show more selflessness, more consideration for the well-being of other people, not just ourselves. And through this purpose, I found that we need to overcome our greed, and we need to find our piece of gratitude in our heart. Greed can only go for some time. Let's say, for example, you work hard to get grade A for and then afterwards, what comes next? After you fulfill this, after you find new things to keep on piling up, does it fully satisfy you? We don't know. But for me, from my perspective, I believe that greed should be replaced with gratitude. Feeling wholesome, feeling enough, feeling that what we're doing is influencing changes, helping others, and making ourselves feel complete. So through the replacement of greed and replacing it with gratitude, I find that I became more positive. I'm so happy every day waking up at 5 to see my family, they're jogging, they're taking care of the meals before I go to work. And I'm also very happy to see my colleagues. We work together every day. I'm also very happy in the evening to see my students ready to learn. And through this, I find that it is so empowering, and every day it feels like a new journey. It feels like hope. And that is what I found through my purpose. It is gratitude in what we have every day, and we can extend that gratitude to other people. And through this, I also found about why we should help others. Helping others is an extension of ourselves. Not only other people benefit, but we too also benefit from helping other people. We oftentimes think that, why is there a need to help other people? We just need to help ourselves first. But little did we know that other people do have impacts in our lives as well. Without other people, we aren't able to make sustainable progress. There is a quote that says, if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. So from this quote, it highlights the importance of our world being interconnected, interdependent. We alone cannot do everything, but we can also connect with other people, join together in creating mutual and positive changes. With other people's support, we can do more. I want to share one of the stories. When I was younger, I was more good at public speaking, sharing, while my friend was more towards technical stuff like computering. And then he had an event which required someone to share about the environment and SDG. So at the time, I was also aware, so I volunteered myself to help my friend. And a few years' time in the future, I was struggling to find a technical person to help my event. And then, luckily, My friend who I helped a few years ago, he reached out to me through my Instagram story, reached out to me and then said, hey, let me help you on this. And then I was so, wow, that's so nice. And this is the positive impact that we can bring. We believe that helping others might not bring any benefits, but it may come at some other time. And I also see this through my journey with my juniors in high school and university. While helping them, many people thought I was reckless. Why waste my time? But little did they know that this is also part of an investment, a support, a positive reinforcement for the future. And now, most of them invite their friends to come to my events, invite their friends to engage in more dialogues, discussions, and also they support our works. So in the long run, this is the sustainable changes I'm talking about. That is why, together, we can build something greater. But at the same time, something greater must also have more consideration. Another element is that not just only our purpose in life, not just only the people who are with us, but also towards where we're at. So, we are on Earth, on our planet. Many people might not consider much about where we're at, who we're living with, but we also need to consider about our planet, our home, where we're standing. Our Earth should not just be an asset, it should be a place where we call home. So that's why more considerations should be put so that our Earth could be more sustainable. We want to live a life where we're happy all around, not see trash all around, not see dump sites where we feel that it's disgusting. But those disgusting things comes from human waste, comes from what we do. So why not bring into the table chances for us to be more inclusive, to change the way that we think, and to make a greater impact, a greater consideration for our planet. It is something that most people might not consider, but as an advocate, I share strong sentiment and feelings that together we need to find ways to create a more sustainable and healthy lifestyle. Just small things can pile up into something so amazing. When I was young, I didn't really care about the environment. I think most people don't really care about the environment, but little did we know that every day climate change is arising. We are impacted by the climate rising, the sea level rising, and now we are faced with more difficult challenges, world challenges. So we can contribute to those small things by helping the environment, by doing small things such as using tumblers, using less AC, providing more support and awareness on climate change, and also we can reduce ourselves to use less plastic. We can do other and many other things that helps us build up on that. And through my experience, I was very inconsiderate, but now I've changed myself. I started using more tumblers, I ride less, and I also use AC less. So these are small things that you can do, and you can invite your friends to join in, because we want to live in a world where it is sustainable as well. Having a happy family, having a happy life, but not having a happy environment is so sad to hear. So then we, as someone who has the power to do so, we can also bring in this element so that the world can be healthier. We can see the world in a much brighter place. Some other place in the world that we see, such as Japan, it's so clean, it's so neat. We feel so happy every day. Sometimes we walk. We walk to school, we walk to work, because we know that we're not going to see dumpsters of trash, and also things that might affect what we take in order to commute to our workplace. So this is a world where we want to strive towards a healthier planet. When all these three elements come together, we found who we are, what we want to achieve in life through our values, and through our purpose, we connect to other people. We serve and we make sustainable progress together, hand in hand. And through this sustainable progress, we must also not forget about our Earth. When these three elements join together, it creates what I call social harmony. Social harmony comes from us being alive, other people being positive, and our world being a healthy place to live in. And to wrap up my speech, I would like to end it with a quote. With our thoughts, we create our world. So thank you for having me.